early touchdown in Seoul. First time in Korea. Today I will take you with me on 72 hours in Seoul, South Korea. A place like no other I've seen before. And yeah, just flew in from Shanghai. Early wake-up call today. And I'm quite excited. Like, I don't know anything about Seoul. Very spontaneous trip. So here we are in Seoul. Just got out of immigration. It's gonna be 3 full days in Seoul for right now. So what do we got here? And nice to see you. That's quite interesting, I would say. Now that's something. Look at that. Pepsi pineapple. Wow. And some purple soda zero. Don't know what that is. Some Korean purple soda.
Credit card or debit card?
I can pay tap?
I'm so sorry.
Korean dinero. Damn, nice. So it seems like the metro's only working with cash. Okay. Getting out of the subway, my first street in South Korea. Okay. So it took a while. I don't know if with taxis maybe faster, but I'm not living in the center and some other should be interesting district, I hope.
Yes. 로비로 안내 도와드리겠습니다.
Okay. Hello. Good afternoon. Good. Oh wow, this is beautiful. Look at that. So from what I understand from the little research that I have done this is one of the famous districts also for the architecture. They have the lake, so it's kind of like one of the go-tos in Seoul. I think the city in some ways is kind of spread out. There's a couple of nice areas to visit. The center, the most famous part, I think, is on the other side of the water, but we're gonna find all of that out. This area in itself already looks super impressive. I mean, this tower here. Wow. Alrighty guys, and real quick before we get into the city, my little secret, like an absolute must-have when traveling, is a proper suitcase. This is where today's video sponsor, a level 8, comes in. Next to looking absolutely sexy, I've had the aluminum suitcase. Seriously, the quality, the way it looks, amazing. This right now is the Voyager carry-on that I have just been delivered. I chose the little funky yellow. They also have it in black and blue. And the thing about this one is with the wide grip, more stuff fits in. So, you know, regular suitcase, kind of like in the middle, the little tubes take away some space. So this is their Voyager model. They also have the checked luggage with that. And I have to tell you, the thing about it is really the quality. The wheels roll smooth like butter and they really last. I've been on the road in some places where it can get a bit tricky, but they never gave up on me. And if something happens, they have a lifetime limited warranty, so you can reach out to them. And another thing is, if you're traveling a lot, if you're at home right now, you can get one delivered no matter where you are. Free shipping on US and Europe, but also like I've been delivered one once in Thailand. Like if you're in Korea, no matter where you are, you can get it delivered to you. And as of right now, with my code Danny15, you can get 15% off any of the pieces you like. So the checked luggage looks also absolutely sleek. And when it comes to price, if you compare it to other luxury brands with the same quality and warranty as well, they're much more affordable. So check it out, check out their website. You can also find them on Instagram. Sometimes they have special discounts or even run giveaways on their suitcases. So level 8, my loyal little travel companion. I'll make sure to leave the link down below, first things in the description. And once again, Danny15 is gonna give you an even better deal. So with that, let's get back to today's adventure. First day in Korea. Guys, the country I wanted to visit for quite a while. We are in Seoul, and just yesterday I arrived from the airport into the city. We are right now actually in front of the tallest tower in all of Korea, the Lotte Tower. So this district is actually quite interesting. We're in front of a super nice lake. I'm actually seeing this from the room of the hotel I'm staying right now, the Sofitel right there, and it's a super modern area overall. Just arriving in Korea, for me, is always exciting. You know, you're unlocking a new country, a new map, new sounds in your ears of the language, new products you're seeing, and yeah, really excited to take you along. I would say the city's fairly large, 10 million people, and it's fairly spread out. So we are around kind of the area where is also Gangnam, the Gangnam Style, everybody knows that. But I think I want to start it off a little bit with a busy street, then go see some of the history, and then probably do modern again. So absolutely beautiful area, great place to stay. I'm also going to show you later where I'm staying, but for now, honestly, in some ways, a very interesting experience. You're in a new country, especially the language in my ear. Obviously, I've watched, like, what was it, the Parasite movie, the Korean movie in full Korean with like subtitles. And the first impressions is, obviously, as you can imagine, the country is extremely modern, extremely good infrastructure. Everything is working absolutely flawlessly. The streets are absolutely neat, but at the same time, also the people, pretty fashionable. Like, people take care of themselves here quite a lot. I mean, Korea is famous for what is it famous? Food, media, history, of course, as well, South Korea, North Korea, but even more so in terms of the style, the fashion. It's a huge influence in the whole world. I think it's probably the place. Plastic surgery is huge here, things like that. So I'm just excited to feel it out a bit over the next couple of days, both the old and the new.
The destination station.
So we got on the other side of the water. Been a bit of a ride, 20-30 minutes. Metro works great, easy, fast. And yeah, we're going to one of the main streets on this side, the Myeongdong shopping street. I talked to a lady at the hotel. She was like, this is like the sort of like Times Square of South Korea. Supposed to be fairly touristy, but I want to get a vibe. So generally big buildings, big vibe, a bit of a Manhattan vibe with these little boxes, these little street food shops, and generally like a really nice big city vibe, just with the difference that everything is absolutely flawless, like super neat, the streets, everything organized. Here in the neighborhood also you hear a bit more English every once in a while walking by. Generally, first impression is many people, especially in service, speak pretty good English, probably a little bit more than in China. That's where I was before, and we'll find out. Generally, what I have to tell you is that a lot of people, they're like very into Korean culture. It's like very dominant, the music, the fashion, the everything. Me personally, not so much, but always had a big curiosity, especially even more so Korean history, and never listened to Korean music that much. I mean, everybody heard Gangam STYLE at the end of the day, but just wanted to Spotify, and honestly, their hip-hop and even pop is banging. Like, I've been listening to some really cool songs actually. Cannot use them right now, so I will probably put them all on the Instagram stories. I'm gonna do, probably gonna do a highlight out of it. So if you want to hear the Korean jam I've been pumping while I'm here, join me on Instagram. And actually really nice. This is one of the main central districts, kind of like, from what I've heard, like the, I guess you could say, Times Square of Seoul in some way, or like central. And let's see, one of the main roads should be this one. And this is pretty much the main shopping street of Seoul. It's busy, fairly, how to say it, reminds me actually of some shopping streets in Germany in a way. It's quite interesting. Not particularly like in a any other big European city. But basically, yeah, lots of lights. So the big street actually is over there. Also lots of street musicians, quite interesting. And for me, honestly, the most exciting part is just all the different Korean products, because they have a very strong culture in terms of that, very much their own stuff. Even in the regular 7-Elevens and everything, some 7-Elevens of some countries are boring. Here, they have like their own drinks. Gonna check it out all later. But yeah, it's like a very playful mix of modern, big regular stores, but also lots and lots of basically like these little street stands. The smells and the flavors we're smelling, some kimchi definitely in the air. And yeah, the cool thing is, I have to say, I walked through this whole little side street, and on there, pretty much they're doing their own thing. Little things, little snacks, little trinkets, and no chains. So it's all Korean. Things here on the main road, obviously, you know, like most shopping streets in the world, what are you gonna have? The Zaras, the New Balances, and things like that. But walking through the streets, we should actually get to a fairly historical place, because for me it's always interesting to see both sides of the city, feel it out a little bit. I mean, obviously, how would you imagine it? It's super cozy, it's super comfortable, safe, definitely. And honestly, I feel like I'm seeing more women on the street in most parts, which is an interesting observation. So walking through the whole like street, here at the back is the Seoul City Hall. Really cool looking building, and also they have like a square. They set up like a market. Some people are doing a dance on the streets. And throughout this street we should be able to get to some of the historical squares, perhaps even some of the temples, or let's call them more like old ancient buildings. That shows how Korea used to be. Quite excited to see that. I think like 15 minutes up front. Let's see. So here we are on one of the main streets in front of the Korean History Museum, and for the first time I'm seeing one of these huge Korean structures. Like, it's really crazy. They preserved it extremely well, absolutely beautiful. So inside, no drones, they say. And if we should walk up that square, they told me this is kind of like one of the main squares where you see all the city. In the back is the most famous palace. I think it's closed today, but we probably can see something from outside, just to also feel a little bit the history of Korea. And honestly, you know, walking on the streets, I have to tell you, the people here know their fashion. Most people look fresh, different styles, some a bit more like loose fit, other ones super business. And honestly, like one of the most fashionable nations and cities that I've seen, especially in Asia. Like maybe Paris, London, similar in some ways, but different style. The Gwanghwamun Square, what an epic spot. So basically, in the back there's the palace. It looks absolutely insane. We're gonna walk there in a second, but basically you have a monument, one of the Korean warriors. Unfortunately, I cannot read exactly who it is, but basically from here you get like a idea of how big the city is in many ways. So in all directions there's this big highway leading you up. In the back there's the city hall we just walked by. Pretty much here is all towering new buildings, and in the back there's this epic mountain. They have not built obviously anything behind the temple to keep it kind of like visually just the focus of the whole area. And yeah, very, very aesthetic in many ways, extremely nicely, respectfully kind of like set in scene, preserved of course as well. Wow. And actually what I just realized by looking on the map is that Seoul is actually fairly close to North Korea, and there is a demilitarized zone between Seoul and North Korea, like 30-40 miles away from the city. Not gonna have the time on this visit to check that out, but yeah, probably looks a bit different over there in many ways, quite a bit. So walking through here, of course, some like cafes, some Starbucks, I think a couple of even hotels. So guys, back on the busy street, there's like some Korean street barbecue. Looks really good. Look at that, in the middle of the street, people are just sitting down enjoying. Oh wow, the inside area is also really nice actually. So I would say that was a great first impression in many ways of Seoul. Like on the one side, yes, we have the, going across the street here, we have the huge buildings, we have the amazing modern infrastructure, and so many parts of the city actually, not just like the center or something. But then you also have the history, you have the temple, the palaces, palace, not temple, too many other Asian countries. And yeah, honestly, let's walk a bit more. Whenever it's red, I'm like, let's take the next red light. Honestly, I'm quite pumped. Tomorrow, I think I want to explore a little bit more around where I am living. Probably get some food right now, find it, but first need a bathroom. What I also like is like that there's still like, not everything is absolutely flawless. Like, okay, you have some like little hut that is like, probably used to be a shop. Oh, that's really cool. So we have one bridge connecting the two big highways. And then in the middle, there's this waterfall, people strolling left and right. Skyline on both sides. And what I think I saw it on some pictures before, but I didn't realize just how many different like rivers are flowing through. Here's probably one big one, but there's like little off trails that is flowing through the city. So whenever you drive with the metro, you're usually passing through a river, which always looks really nice. But I have to tell you one thing, that sometimes you think you're driving in the right direction because you pass the river and you remember there was a river that you need to pass. I went up like yesterday going with the metro into the wrong direction for like 5 stations because I was like, yeah, past the river, this is exactly where I'm living, but nah. Actually fairly many, most of them have amazing views, but the Mio restaurant seemed kind of the most interesting, so let's check it out. Hello, good evening. I should have a reservation?
It's your dining, right?
Yes, correct.
We have the sushi counter, 9 courses, an appetizer to sashimi, and the soup.
Really interesting menu. They have this open sushi bar where he's preparing it live in front of you, a little bit burning something. Really cool. We're in the corner, nice view, but I think I'll sit inside and yeah, let's check it out. So this is Gryffindor, Slytherin. I think I'll take these. They look brutal. Oh, nice. Thank you so much.
Appetizer, the vibes is in the lights.
Alright,
And
thank
the
you.
last one.
Sure.
The first one is monata with the green pea paste, marinate the shrimp, and the sea urchin on top. And this one is the name is.
It tastes absolutely delicious. Like honestly, if you watch my videos, you know I rarely praise food like crazy. Just super light, slightly fruity. Tastes extremely fresh. Wow.
The next is sashimi. And today's market fish is kind of the fish from Jeju.
Some type of crab roll. My guys, exquisite. And a little dessert. Oh yeah. Amazing dinner that was, I have to say. Some of the best Japanese food of all time. Very neat, very... like really the food was crafted, that's how I would call it. And as of right now, I thought while we are here, let's check out this famous mall. It's famous for having the biggest indoor attraction park. I don't think around this time of the day that's what I'm heading to do, but I just want to get an idea of how it looks and maybe just see what else is going on in this neighborhood. So So basically right in front of the Lotte Tower is yeah, fairly nice, large, modern mall. I think this is where this attraction park is also connected to. And honestly, yeah, like the colors and everything is quite unique. Most of the time, like all malls look kind of the same, but here a little bit of Korean originality, very playful. Little setup here, the biggest croc in the world. Yeah. Very cool coffee shop. Got these stairs leading up. Nice and minimalist, very clean. I like it. Coming out, we're actually walking by right now the tower, and you actually feel how friggin' massive that thing is. Whew. We just got out that Gangnam area. So I'm sure everybody knows the song. Probably they even know it in outer space at this point. Has been huge, and it's about this neighborhood pretty much. We just have arrived. It's just supposed to be kind of like an upscale malls, nightlife, bar area. I have no idea. Gangnam. So overall, probably on the weekends it's a good bit busier. It's a bit late during the week. It's like a shopping district. Good couple of like really nice hotels, and once again everybody super fashionable. But one reason I came out here, obviously name recognition, Gangnam, but they actually, since the song went viral, what is it, probably more than a decade ago. I remember when I was like 16, 17 going to some nightclubs in Europe for some like teen party under that theme, so definitely a bit more than a decade ago. So basically they're quite proud of it. The hand move that Psy was doing, they put up here, fairly large, huge to be fair, and really cool. I'm sure on the weekends during the day a lot of people come up to film something with it. But yeah, nice other neighborhood. So guys, in all of the subways there is little shops like that. I just took the drink and I almost walked off. The guy's looking at me like, yo. So the cool thing is the drinks are really quite unique, even if it's like big brands. They're packaged a bit differently. Here we got some zero soda, pretty cool. And yeah, all pretty much 80% Korean products, I would say. Over the water. So next day right now, I would say today gonna stay on this side of the water. As you see, it's quite a different vibe. So the tallest building, the Lotte Tower, and next to it I think is a lot of offices. And honestly, I love the Korean language. Like in some ways it sounds very masculine, but it's loud. People talk here with a good bass in their voice. And let me show you where I'm staying this time around. I have to tell you, it's one of the most neat, classy hotels probably ever. So this is the Sofitel. It's like a little bit like French branding hotel. It's like a really really nice 5-star, and it's brand new. It's like I think they told me like hello. So I think they basically told me it's 3 years old, and you really see it. So most of the place looks like super modern, super chic like that, but they do have this traditional one set up. And I would say, let me give you a little room tour, but especially let me give you an idea of the view around here. So as you see, we got 32 floors. Whoop. So this is one of the lobbies. They also have residences here. It's actually quite interesting. We got a lot of different floors. So depending where you stay, you kind of like go to a different elevator. Like especially things like gym, pool. Absolutely amazing around here. No, that's not my elevator. I'm just looking for my elevator.
Just going to room?
Yeah, this
Which
one.
floor?
The 29.
Who's this?
Perfect, thank you. Oop. Now, seriously, I love the colors. I love the vibe. So metallic. Perhaps for my taste, a little bit like many colors, but it's nice to sometimes just feel this vibe a little bit. So, boom. Tap the card. 29. And wait for the view. Hoppa. So, coming in. Right now the sun is shining into the room, and very much so like pastel colors, the whites, the cream. So super nice large bed, and then we have this like little seating corner, and we have the tallest tower in Korea with this cool lake that you have seen in the beginning of the video. And I have to tell you, the lake just looks so neat. Sometimes there's like a couple boats passing by, and actually I think I mentioned from here I'm seeing the biggest attraction park in the world. It's supposed to be like a pretty famous mall here. A lot of people come out just for that. I think there's also a hotel inside of the tower, but it's always like when there's a crazy nice tower, you actually want to look at it. So this is what is really nice here. So we got a coffee machine, I would say. Let's get that going. So basically Sofitel hotels, they're always kind of like framed as a French experience. So usually there's a French restaurant, but also here I think there's like Japanese, Korean food. I think tonight we're gonna try one of them. And bathroom is also absolutely beautiful. I have to tell you, I don't remember the last time I was in such a modern yet chic hotel. And when I saw it, I was like, oh wow, that looks like a really cool building. There's actually the Lotte Tower. So coffee is on the way. We're gonna get caffeinated and then we're gonna fly up. Alrighty, so we have a fully indoor pool, which actually looks fairly outdoor because it's completely glassed out. So the view is amazing. Over there, the tower, pretty large, pretty swimmable. And in the corner, there's even some kind of whirlpool. I think later I'll come back, check all of that out. But I think in South Korea it's good to be kind of roofed up because most of the year it's not like quite the hot temperatures. Right now it's actually quite nice, 25 degrees. Let's see how this whirlpool area looks. I think there's somebody here, but overall it's like a nice balcony. This one is actually completely open air, probably heated, and getting a little bit of a, yeah, just a fresh air, breath of air, overlooking this part of town. As you see, the whole city is surrounded by mountains. I love when it looks like that. And the building also looks quite slightly different from anything I've seen before. Like, it doesn't look like a Chinese high-rise quite, doesn't look like a Bangkok for sure. Korean scenery. Here we are right now on the 32nd floor. Hello. So they got a really nice rooftop bar that opens at 5-6 p.m. I checked it out yesterday. Super nice views, especially during sunset. Like nice electro music, things like that. Hello. I'll just check out the lounge.
Kind of number?
2908. Top floor, the 32nd floor. The sun in the evening is shining from that side. In the morning, I would say is even a bit nicer. Maybe I'll show you a shot. But yeah, just being up here, nice, calm, peaceful music, and in the evenings to get like these evening cocktails. I would say in terms of the view, the vibe, it's amazing. And again, the lounge obviously is for hotel guests, but the Latitude bar is open to the public. So if you want to enjoy these kind of views of yeah, pretty much most of Seoul. Like I'm seeing where we have been walking around yesterday actually as well. And this. So it is right now gym time. We are on the, I think, 9th floor. Super nice gym. Very modern in many ways. It's kind of like a bit of a corner unit. So here you have most of the machines. In the back is the free weight section. I have to tell you, I love when the gym has like a nice view, so much daylight. Here, so the treadmills facing the windows with a nice Seoul. Ooh, starting off at the morning here at the Fort Mason restaurant, which is the breakfast as well. Really nice hotel breakfast. Here's kind of like the egg station area. That soft-boiled egg, hard-boiled egg. What are we gonna get? I don't know what this is, but yeah, let's stick to this egg frittata. And so it has been amazing 2 days in Seoul, mostly. So saying goodbye to the scenery here. Mostly it was for me like an opportunity right now to stop by. The layover kind of makes sense. I'm heading to Europe after here. And I think throughout the trip right now to the airport, I'll share with you a couple of impressions. And so here we are after a couple of days back in the Seoul airport. Oh, nice. Let it be. Let it be. Let me take a video as well here. So just to share a bit my impressions. First of all, I said it many times throughout this video, one of the most fashionable nations. Not very, let's say, like it's not so much in your face. It's fairly elegant fashion. Everybody takes care of themselves extremely. Like I mentioned before, from what I hear, is like in Asia, it's like the most like. Korea is very famous. A lot of people come here for like plastic surgery, things like that. And generally, in many ways, I thought it would be a bit different. Like I did not expect, first of all, that the sound of the language I actually quite enjoy. It sounds pretty powerful in a way. Culturally, in terms of their media and everything else, I've never been into any like, let's say, Korean music or anything like that. But by the side, kind of like you notice it's a big thing. Just being here over the last couple of days, playing some Korean music playlist. And the one movie I watched last year, Parasite, one of the best movies of all time. I watched it dubbed in Korean. And I have to tell you, they are really have their own thing going. It's not a very large country. It's quite impressive how influential they are in many ways. From what I hear, there's also like some issues, some demographical issues, like, you know, people are also, that's like in very many ways a high pressure society, like many developed Asian nations. But I have to say, just walking through the streets a little bit, generally the energy is pretty good. I didn't have the chance to see that much. I walked by the TV tower. I didn't have the chance that day to film, so I didn't capture everything. But I definitely got a bit of a first flavor, and I could absolutely see myself coming back. But I would even be more interested to see things like the demilitarized zone, learn a bit more of the history during the time when they had the war, when the country split, and how different they now developed. Like, you see Seoul is a very rich city in many ways. You feel it by the prices. It's not a cheap place. It's one of the most expensive countries in this part of the world. And over 2 days, I would say it was not long enough. And I've only had the time to film one video. Basically, my flight connections kind of made sense for me a little bit. And if you're new here by any chance, Here on the channel I talk about building a life of freedom around the world. So I document my life, my travels around these ideas. And generally I also try to show some special places, some nice hotels, be it luxury, be it boutique, be it also parts of the world where you can get much more value. And many countries like South Korea never were too much on my radar because I understand it's a highly, let's say, evolved and advanced society where perhaps you're not going to get the Thailand value, perhaps you're not going to get the Bali value, perhaps you're not going to get the adventure factor of some other countries like I've recently been to, be it Nepal, be it Eastern Europe, but what you can get here is this extremely unique culture. I would say South Korea and Japan have been two countries I've never been to because they haven't intrigued me for the fact that I was always a bit more out for the either adventure destination or lifestyle optimization destinations, which I would say is what the world to see is all about. But recently I thought before I turned 30, we should do at least 100 countries. So I love unlocking a new map, just walking through a new city, hearing a new language. And I think for that 2-3 days is enough to try a little bit the food. Like just now, oh, I should have filmed that actually. Let me show you. I just bought so many freaking snacks because I'm gonna be passing by, meeting some people that I want to give it to. Let me show you. So Korea is famous for their different snacks, so I want a bit bananas. Look at that. The whole front back is basically full of it. I had a little bit of cash left because the metro is great to get around. It's also pretty cheap, like a little bit over $1. I checked like the taxi. I was considering to take a taxi because I was slightly late on time. Would have been like $80-something to the airport. So you understand the price ranges, but then the traffic, that's what I was afraid of. So I was saying that's the only place I really needed cash. Coming from China, having to install Alipay, some places not taking Visa, obviously. South Korea is absolutely connected with the rest of the world. And after leaving here, I am actually intrigued to explore their culture a little bit more, to watch some more Korean movies. Like just walking through Seoul, you feel the soul, you feel the creativity. At the same time, I do have to say that just on public transport, I don't know what it is, like a lot of people are sleeping. It's kind of like a bit of a, I don't know, in the evening it was a bit like everybody looked a bit exhausted from their day. I found that interesting. Whereas in other neighborhoods, everybody seems like, it was like, what was it, Thursday? Everybody seems like it's Saturday night. So a contrast, not enough time to fully feel it out. And it was an interesting situation right now, just when I was going through the security. So there was this guy drinking water on the side, and I see like one person passing him by. I'm a bit late. I'm like, let me pass by too. All of a sudden, he goes like bananas. He like grabs his like luggage and throws it in front of me and like, hey. I'm like, bro, I thought you said on the side. He's like, no. Like, he's like, look at me. I'm like, what do you want? You want to fight now? What do you want? I'm like, what are you doing? Like, I fucking hate people who skip lines, but yeah, that was interesting. But actually, I appreciate the balls. Like, if you're like, yo, what the fuck are you skipping? Like, why are you skipping? Why are you skipping the line? So again, culturally, I'm actually like, there is some countries where if you're gonna do that, if you're gonna stand on the side and give people an easy chance to kind of like skip you, it's gonna happen. Like, I don't want to name any names, but there's countries, if you don't keep such a distance, you're gonna get skipped all the time. It looks like here it's a very unpolite thing, probably. That's why his reaction has been a misunderstanding. I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. I didn't want to pass one person. That would have not helped me. But yeah, let's board. Airstar. So if you guys are new here, make sure to join me on Instagram to see where I am right now. So as you heard before, on a mission to do 100 countries before 30. I'm a little couple something around 30 away from that. Would need to count again. Again, it's just a random number, just for the feel. But at the same time, Like I have such, I need to let South Korea sink in a little bit this couple days that I spent here. So yeah, join me on Instagram to see where I am right now. The videos usually come out a little bit later, so I'm probably at the other end of the world at this point. And yeah, maybe after we do 100 countries we can close the chapter a little bit, because I do like very much to return to the same countries. And I feel like even though South Korea never, like for so many people it's like such a destination, and I think with me actually passing through here I planted the seed and the curiosity for this place, and I think that will bring me back. So on that note, you too got a world to see.